Anthony Castrovince put this out at MLB.com, the all-underrated team, and he picked all of these players. But what was fascinating about the game that Anthony played were the rules behind the game. How would you pick 2025's all-underrated team? Here are the notable criteria. No All-Star appearances last 5 years. No awards of any kind, ever. No all MLB team honors, ever. No prominent inclusion in Brian Kenny's MLB Now's top 10 right now list. I mean, think of it. No 9-figure contract, at least 2 years of service time. Do you know how hard it was to play this game? I felt like I was in 6th grade all over again. I was enjoying myself, believe you me. But it was to fit players into all of that criteria was difficult, was it?
Every time you think you have a player in mind, you go to their reference page and you're like, oh, he has one All-Star game 4 years ago. Or, oh, no, he actually got a Gold Glove. Or he has a Silver Slugger.
It's hard.
So many players. But we found a few.
We both decided to put this list together. We may have players that overlap. I want to show you mine first. My all-underrated team. Connor Wong is my catcher because he had a terrific year for the Boston Red Sox. I'm a huge Connor Wong fan. Andrew Vaughn plays every day, is only getting better. Massey at second. Iglesias is my shortstop. I know he's not going to play shortstop, but good luck finding a shortstop that fits the criteria. My cousin, Matt Vierling, can play everywhere. Also third base. He's my guy. I have Marsh, Victor Robles, Josh Lowe in the outfield. Alec Burleson's emerging DH. You see my rotation on the right. David Peterson, I think he's my number one. Trevor McGill's my closer. Jason Foley and Brent Suter. I want to focus in on Victor Robles, though. He's a center fielder. I know Julio Rodriguez is a starting center fielder for the Mariners. But Victor Robles got a multi-year contract extension with the Mariners because all he did was rake when he went there. He can play center, but he's going to be a Gold Glover in left instead. He can steal you bags. His on-base percentage this year with the Mariners was around 400. I know he didn't play a ton, but the Mariners saw enough to go, wait a minute, this is our guy. Victor Robles, who struggled with the Washington Nationals, is emerging with the Mariners. And David Peterson's my ace of my staff, of the most underrated, because my goodness, did he have just no exit velocity. You could not barrel him up. A lefty that got righties and lefties out. Terrific command. David Peterson, to me, is going to be a mainstay in the New York Mets rotation. A sub-3 ERA. He was a godsend. David Peterson is my ace. Look at 10-3, 2.9 in a playoff situation. All right, that's enough with me. Give me your squad. Who's your all-underrated?
You know what?
team?
As I looked at my list, I don't think we have too many guys that overlap.
Are you serious?
This is a very tough list to dig into. Let's go ahead and get into my list real quick. I didn't go with the full starting rotation like you did, Greg, but I did go through every position. Kyle Higashioka at catcher, Rhys Hoskins, I'm surprised he doesn't have more awards. Luis Garcia Jr., Iglesias, the OMG.
That's our only overlap.
You went crazy with OMGs. Jake Berger, I think Castrovince had him at third base. Then Luke Raley in Tampa, Jake McCarthy in Arizona, Josh Lowe.
We both agreed on Josh Lowe.
Yeah, and then starting pitching, I went Mackenzie Gore and Brian Abe. You basically, if you're in a smaller market team, I feel like even if you play well, sometimes you're a little bit underappreciated. But let me focus on 3 guys on this list. Starting off with Rhys Hoskins. Rhys Hoskins, career 121 OPS in 7 seasons. We've seen so many big seasons out of him in Philly. He went over to the Brewers, had 26 home runs, 82 RBIs in his first season, had 5 seasons averaging 25 homers. I feel like Rhys Hoskins is more deserving of being one of the top players in the game because we were talking about Alonso earlier about consistency, especially consistency with the power. Rhys Hoskins, no matter where he goes, he's going to drive the ball out of the yard. Right after him,
I love Luke Raley.
Luke Raley is one of the better players in the game, and he's another player who's very consistent. Seeing what he's able to do in Tampa and in Seattle, I feel like he's an underrated guy. A lot of players don't pay a lot of attention to him, but when you see, we love power. And average is one thing that we don't pay as much attention to, but a 127 OPS plus 3.8 WAR. Luke Raley is a very consistent player and a guy that I would want on my squad.